Welcome to Fabulous Life Confabulations. Woo! Tonight, limiting beliefs. Wow, we will get into what that means in a minute. But for right now, I am Dennise Williams, and I'm a founder of Fabulous Life and a money coach to help you get your creative energy around money. But let me confess right now, even though I help you get rid of your blocks on money, I'm going to be on the hot seat tonight with a block of my own. And I'm not sure I want to. Okay, so let me just bring on screen all the fabulous coaches for Fabulous Life. Oh my goodness, they're all here as you can see. Say hi, everybody. Yay! These are the fabulous ladies, and we will get into the deeper introductions in a minute. I just want to put everybody on notice. January, we're going to be doing a 21-day challenge to ignite your fabulous life. We will be sending out the link on. Why does it keep slipping me, Dr. Harriet? Oh my goodness, talk to me. We're supposed to get it right. Eventbrite. So we'll have the link on Eventbrite. So we'll be introducing, but next week we'll get more into that. This week though, I'm gonna hand over to Nadine Sinclair, who's gonna help us all go bold in a safe space.
Thank you, Dennise. Welcome, everyone. I'm Nadine Sinclair, NADS, Coach NADS, and I do transformational coaching. My business is Go Bold, and it's really ultimately about transformation of your life, your personal life, your work life, the relationship that you have with self is where we start and we focus, and then it spirals now into every relationship that you have in your life. And so what I love to do at the beginning of every session is to do a quick check-in, just to see how persons are feeling in the moment. And in this very moment, I am feeling at ease. I'm feeling relaxed and at ease. Denise, Rob, over to you. How are you feeling in this moment? Oh, yes, Denise, I forgot about that. Oh, what color am I today? I think I'm blue. I like blue, like the ocean. I like the sky. Liz, over to you. How are you checking in?
Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, Nadine, Dennise, my fellow coaches. I am really thrilled to be here. What do I do? Well, I support individuals and companies to raise their performance because often we don't get the results that we really want. So I use neurolinguistic programming techniques to help you move forward and progress and get the outcomes that you so desire in your life, whether those be in your relationships, whether those be in your goals for your finance or for your business or your career goals, or no matter what area they may be in, I can help you get where you want to go. So today I am feeling excited. Yeah, I'm feeling excited, and my color would be red.
And red. Okay. Thanks, Liz. Over to you, Andy. Unmute and share.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow. Andrea Blackwood Harriet. I am a Reshape Your Shape coach. And what I do, I help executive women to prioritize themselves vis-a-vis the demands of life and work. So I can live more vital, have more joy, and in fact, even have more accomplishment than just rushing, and leaving their health, their nutrition, and their vitality behind. Today, I am, for some reason, I'm feeling sober. It's a funny word. It's not really serious. It's just in that mood to get shit done. So, sorry.
But no, sorry. We all
determined.
You put on your badass self and you said, okay, with a couple days to go, what are my outstanding important things? And I'm in that mood to just shovel and get it done.
Wow. Wow.
Love that. Love that. Dennise Williams, over to you.
Okay, so yes, I'm Dennise Williams. I help you release the blocks of your money. And there's so many aspects of money that, we can dive deep into, and we will in our 21-day challenge. And I will say to you that I'm feeling joyful, and I'm in blue, but I think my color is that electric hot pink. Yes, hot pink. That's my color.
You're feeling pink today. Love
Hot
it.
pink, not soft pink. Hot pink.
Hot pink, hot pink. As a community, we are able to support and help persons to release any limiting beliefs that they may have in their lives. And a bit of a limiting belief that I was having is coming up with a vision for myself and my business, and just to really get some clarity around it, just almost real laser focus. And this last week, actually, I had reached out to Liz Terry, who does NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And as I was reaching out to Liz and sharing with her some of my thoughts and ideas and what I've been thinking about and writing about my own personal vision, but I wanted some more clarity around it. And we were able to, she and I were able to sit together, and let me tell you, it really released a lot for me. And just the shift in my language and my mindset was amazing for me. And just something that came up for me as I was sharing with Liz that night, when I thought about my plan for my life and what I want to do and my purpose. And I said, my plan ultimately is to really share love across the world by shifting the energy of every person I come in contact with. And that came about actually after our call, Liz, but ultimately it started from the questions that you had asked me that allowed me to release it. And now I just feel energetic and laser focused towards my vision. And it has just given me this burst of energy, and I'm so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I share that really to say to persons that even when we're on this journey as coaches, we too have limiting beliefs. We have blocks that come into our life. And what we're very clear about is that everyone needs a coach. We need a community. And that's why we have this Fabulous Life community to support you in your journey. And so my block was last week, and it had actually been building up over a period of time, but I just got to a place where I needed to release it. And I was able to reach out to one of my colleagues right here, and it was a fabulous experience. And it can happen for you as well.
Yeah. Mhm. Yes, I think, thank you, Dennise and Nads. I mean, I think the sharing is so important because often you're quite right, Nadine. We don't recognize that everybody is on a path of evolution. And it's not a destination. So we get to a plateau, and then we have some other experiences that, we find we have blocks against. I remember one of my trainers actually telling me that, because I figured, okay, I mean, she got rid of all her limitations, so now she was, gone free. And she said, no, she says, every time you come to a certain point and you kind of get to that plateau, as I said, there is something else. There's something else beyond it. And you will have an experience that will challenge you. And it is through the challenge that you recognize, oh, there is something else that I need to give up, that limiting belief. So it's important. All of us are on that growth path.
Yes, yes. And Liz, that brought up something for me as well, that what happens when we're on this kind of a journey for us as coaches and our clients is that we share tools that help you to bounce back quicker.
Yes.
That's really what it's all about. Because we're all going through the same thing in our lives. But what has happened is that when we're on this kind of a journey and we're working together, we are able to bounce back quicker. We have tools that we can draw on. We can draw on different individuals depending on the needs that we have and what's going on in our life.
Yeah. And some of us, especially coming up to Christmas, may definitely need Andrea.
Yes.
Right.
Well, now that we're talking about leaning on each other, now that we're talking about
Liz, thanks for that. Thanks for that. But one of the biggest misconception about what I do is like I only get people who are fat slim. I am a health and wellness coach.
I
And
know.
so
I wasn't only needing weight.
who are not overweight, but who just want to be at their best, their peak of health. Because
Yes.
of the area that we know. And so absolutely, I have persons, in fact, who are within the guidelines for size, but do they have some limiting beliefs around what they should eat? Because that's how they grew up. And so you have skinny fat people, and you have people like big footballers. I mean, one of my friends at 21, right? A footballer died of a heart attack, cholesterol. He wasn't even fat. And so wellness is, just being at your optimal health and performance at every stage of your life. You don't have to be obese to be unwell.
well,
Thank you. Yeah.
Very important point.
yeah. So, ladies, since the
And Denise Williams, before you come in, because as Denise Williams comes in, your health is your wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so as Denise Williams comes in, because I'm going to send it over to you now, Denise Williams, when Denise Francis was sharing, what I was thinking about is that we all have a money story, each and every one of us. And what Denise Williams does is to help us to work through those blocks that we have in relation to money, and also when we're leaving money, as she would say, on the table. Over to you, Denise Williams. Unmute.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone. And yes, I really think we all need coaches. I think I've used everybody here at some point in my journey for support. And so guess what? I'm back on the hot seat because I have a new love. Since March, and yes, it falls under limiting belief. I know that. It's not like I don't know. But since March, I found a friend. When COVID struck, schools closed, and all of a sudden you became principal and headmistress and math teacher and English teacher, and I don't like none of it. None of it. Algebra is a crime. Social studies is not social. Language arts is not artistic. I'm sorry to tell the school system that parents were unprepared. And so I found help. You hear? I found help. At the end of a stressful day, I turned to my friend And, my friend helps me to cope because these children, guess what? Believe it or not, people don't understand. I am equally introverted as I'm extroverted. I like to be alone at times. Somebody didn't tell children that after you teach them all day, do you want to be alone? But they want mommy all the time. And so I have a friend. I have a good friend. He is full bodied. He's crunchy. He's tasty. And I get on one level, I need to let him go. I get on one level, the relationship is not really working, but he brings such action to me and he helps me to be a better teacher. And so I now turn myself over to the coaches to talk about this friend in need who is a friend indeed. And I just think that, yeah, I mean, and here's a photo of how I feel sometimes. Again, I'm not going to pretend that this is a great thing, but I'm going to be honest and say that it's nice and I like it. And so, Liz, can I ask you to go first? So I'm on the hot seat. I'm going to be honest, the full disclosure. Let's go.
Unmute for us, Liz. Over to you.
Yeah, just finding the unmute button. Yeah, so I think, Dennise, what you may have there is what we call a limiting belief. So let me ask you, is it possible for you to just drop that pack of chips and give it up right
It's
now?
after 7 o'clock, Liz. What are you asking me? Because this is downtime.
Yeah.
This is decompression time. We decompress together.
Okay. So you have a feeling then that you can't stop eating those chips in the evening at decompression time. Is that it?
Yeah, because it feels and it tastes good. And guess what? He doesn't argue with me, doesn't ask me where I've been all day long, don't call me, don't bother. He's like, oof.
Okay. So it's a limiting belief that you have that you can't give it up. And before we get into any more details on what and how to deal with those limiting beliefs, let's look first at what a limiting belief really is. So people make beliefs, not just limiting beliefs, we make beliefs all the time. And we start to develop beliefs as a mechanism for understanding the world that we're living in. Because we're taking in a lot of information through our five senses. And in order to do that effectively, because there's so much information, what we do, our brain does, is help us to sort for commonalities, right? So we're looking for commonalities, and then we kind of circle those commonalities and we generalize and we say, okay, so that's how everything works. So that's how I work, maybe, and not the world. So it's what we call an unchecked assumption, because the truth is that when we take in that information, there's a whole lot of information that we delete and we distort it and we get rid of it. And so our reality and our belief and our perception about what's happening is squished into this little slice, and we don't recognize that there are other possibilities. And that's the
Liz,
danger.
I'm trying to say you're saying that there may be another possibility in these beloved potatoes.
Yeah, maybe you could have a different kind of relationship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need to identify for ourselves, because we have a host of limiting beliefs as people, because we develop them over time, right? From we're very little, maybe from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going up, we are developing our beliefs about how we work and how the world around us works. And the thing is that when we develop those at such a young age, very often as we grow older, they don't work so well, right? They may work at that age, but when we get older, we don't need to believe that there is, a rolling calf that's going to come and, carry us away if we don't get home early enough, right? for those who don't.
Liz, do you have small children?
Yeah, not anymore, but I did.
Did you send them off to school? I want my bag of chips.
Yeah, but you see, those beliefs as a child, they don't work later on. So anyway, let's go on. So the thing is that those beliefs are unconscious. So what we need to do as a first step is to make sure that we understand what our limiting beliefs are, because they can stop us. So my question to you, Dennise, is what do you want? First of all, do you want to give up that bag of chips, that relationship that you have with what's the name of those chips?
They're cheddar and sour cream potato chips.
Oh, cheddar and sour cream potato chips. Do you want to give them up?
At this moment, no.
Okay, well then it's going to be very difficult for you to change, and that's an important part of this process, because a lot of times people wanna change. They don't actually want to change. So that's the first thing,
important.
right?
Okay.
Very important. So when you are ready to change, you can come back and see me. But, yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, let's say that. It said here. Well, there's this thing that said you think your clothes dryer is shrinking the clothes when it's actually the refrigerator shrinking the clothes.
Right.
So
Well,
I, as I said, but maybe let's look at the next question, Liz, because I know you're gonna try, to come between me and my man, but let's see.
all right. So the question is following on Denise Rob's question or comment about whether the refrigerator is serving you um, more than you need it to, then and your clothes are getting tighter, then maybe certainly by the time you get to coming up to New Year's, remember everybody wants to make New Year's resolution. Yeah, we want to change. So maybe by that time you may have a different goal, right?
Okay.
So what would that goal be, do you think, if you kept on eating those chips and just
The goal for the chips or the goal for stopping? The goal for the chips or the goal for stopping? Which one?
Well, no, the goal. What would you want to achieve?
Well, the truth is, did you know that Playboy magazine has like a senior citizen, bathing suit competition?
So
And I think when I'm in my 60s,
you want
I'd
to
like
prepare
to do
yourself for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Very good. So, what would prevent you then from being in that, what you call it, the center spread?
The senior citizen.
Center spread.
No, not center spread. Swimsuit. You keep it cold on. Right. No, you're not doing spread. You keep it cold on. You keep it cold on 155. But so I do recognize that a continued long-term relationship with these bag of chips would interfere with being a sexy, 65-year-old senior swimsuit, contestant,
Very good. So when you think of that goal, then does any resistance come up for you when you think of what you might have to do in order to achieve that goal, or who you might have to become?
Diet, exercise, things I didn't want to do before, but now I probably have to. So, I mean,
you said the word have to.
Yeah.
Have to usually is not such a great word, because it sounds as if it's a great sense of obligation and not a real want to.
Well, I feel I'm obligated to be the first senior Miss Jamaica in
It's so why is it that you would have to
like I'm in two worlds. I'm in two worlds. I agree that I love it. It's awesome. It makes me feel great. But then on the other hand, I agree that it may not be such a hot thing and it may not help me to have that fabulous life that I want. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm on the hot seat. So you want to look at some more questions?
So you definitely have a bit of resistance there.
Hmm.
So do you think that it would be possible to give up those chips? And in
Well,
fact, let me ask you, what is the positive intent behind eating those chips? That's a very interesting question.
kind of just to get the support, because I'm a single mom, and it's just really me. So I do want like a cuddle bunny,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have a cuddle bunny.
Right.
So
So, so there. I'm hearing you say that you're looking for some level of comfort. Is
yes,
that right?
yes,
Yeah. So there is a positive intent behind eating those chips.
right.
And so, is there any other way, Dennise, that you think that maybe you could get that feeling of comfort that would be a healthier option?
Um, yes.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
okay. Ah, yes,
Yes.
actually, that's such a good suggestion, Denise, because journaling actually helps you to identify the other pockets of resistance that sometimes you're not even aware of. So it helps you to delve into your unconscious mind and to bring up some of those things that you need to make conscious in order to deal with them. So the
Okay.
journaling is a really good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So has Denise answered question 3 and 4 for me?
Right.
Or am I
No,
hot
no,
seat?
you have to answer that. So
Okay.
what would it be like if it were possible to give it up? Could
Okay.
you?
I'd have to find a different cuddle buddy. It
Hmm.
might be art girl.
Do you think it would be possible for you to?
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself an artiste, so yes, it's possible.
It's
Yes,
possible. Okay,
I could
great.
do
So
art journaling. Yes, I could
wonderful.
sign up for an art journaling course. I could.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could.
Yes. Right. Well, that's wonderful. So now Denise is beginning to think about other possibilities that would have benefits for her. So
Yes.
she's starting to develop some different circuits, maybe that she can use
Right.
neurologically to get some comfort. So I think there's another slide, Denise. Right. So we kind of discuss it. So most limiting beliefs have a positive intent behind them because they sometimes will protect us, from disappointment, or often behind them is protecting us because we are fearful of doing that thing that we really should do or that we
True.
want to do. Like we
True.
fear failing, for
That's
example. We
true.
fear
Absolutely true.
disappointment and things like that. So it's
Yes.
always good to kind of reflect on those and pull those out, and then to quiz yourself as to what would you like instead. So
I think that based on my instruction, my children are not going to Harvard. I mean, I feel bad about that. I feel really bad. So yeah, that's part of it. You know what I mean? It's like, in fact, I feel like Google taught my children this because everything that I looked in the books, like, I don't remember that when I was 11. Let me go Google it. I feel like they're not going to Harvard at all, and I feel bad.
so instead of the what would you say then would be the answer to that question? If you could just go back one slide before I could
What is it doing? Well, I mean,
yeah
it's giving me comfort
comfort.
and a
So
solid.
what
The
is
opposite of this, a
yeah.
big glass of red wine. That would be the opposite.
Well, if that's a healthy option, you
Okay.
have to talk to Andrea to figure
Okay.
out whether that's a
Seriously
healthy
though,
option for you
I
or
think
not.
though, I
Because
really like I really
because
like the art journaling idea because
yeah,
maybe it's the opposite in the sense that if I'm looking for comfort and I'm looking for something to kind of feel better, maybe I could do an art journal about how by some miracle my children get into Harvard. So yeah, I could journal
Yeah.
up,
Yes, yes. Cool. And
Okay.
so, I mean, yeah.
I could, yeah, what? Yeah, I'm gonna download some Harvard pictures and do an art journal of my children going to
Mhm.
Harvard based on my teaching, because that's what's called a miracle. But yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
And you have another question here, number
Yeah.
6.
How can I include this resource or this value, whatever it is that you're looking for in your goal? So comes back to, the only time that limiting beliefs really become a problem is if you have a goal, which is why I asked you, what is it
Yeah,
that you
I mean,
want?
I'd like my children to progress in
No,
their
I'm talking
education.
about the bag of chips
Yeah,
and
and
the
I feel
the
bad. No,
goal that you want.
I feel bad every day because I'm a horrible 5th grade, 6th grade teacher. And so, this helps me to comfort. But maybe I could look at art journaling to say, there's a computer glitch and Harvard lets them
Right.
in. So
But
my bad teaching will hold them back. I don't know.
yeah, but we're linking it to a goal. So your
Right.
goal was that you wanted to be in the senior swimsuit.
Oh, right. Talking about for me now, not for my kids. Okay. So
No, not for the kids, for you.
sexy. Yes.
So you wanted to be
Absolutely.
cool,
Absolutely. I
right?
mean, let's over our head to Brazil. And everybody wears bikinis in Brazil. And at 65, I mean, come on. So, yes.
So what is that value then that you can put in that resource? I mean, Denise suggested that would be a glass of wine. Well, I think that Andrea is going to pick up right there to see whether that's really a good idea or not. But I want to just end by saying that the important thing to remember is that your limiting belief is a problem only when it is preventing you from achieving a particular goal, right? Well, a belief, I should say, is only a problem if it's preventing you from achieving that a particular goal, and then it becomes a limitation. So when you're looking at, addressing limiting beliefs, it really is useful to do it within the context of the goal that you want for yourself and applying a level of self-reflection through questions like what I've asked there to bring up those unconscious areas of resistance, because you can begin to challenge the resistance and say, well, hey, if I thought I couldn't do that, that's based on something, 10 years ago. So maybe I can do it now. Or if there's something specific that I need in order to feel that I have the ability, then I make sure that I include it in the activities that I'm going to do in order to help me get over that limiting belief. So we have a range of different things that we use in the coaching technique. So that's really just an easy one today in terms of looking at the questions that you ask yourself and being self-reflective.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody to stay tuned because we will be having a 21-day challenge. Yeah, I put myself on the hot seat tonight, but these coaches, these awesome ladies are ready to help you. But I'm presuming because Dr. Harriet is looking ready, I ain't out the hot seat yet. So, Doc, okay.
It's so funny. I mean, I really enjoy the exchange. And I too am going to ask you some questions. Because
Okay.
you started off by saying at the end of the day, you're so maybe overwhelmed or stressed out, and you just need him for comfort. You
Him.
actually, your cuddle buddy, as you
Yes.
put it.
Bunny. I didn't say Uncle Bunny. I said Buddy. I'm Bunny, not Buddy. Let's not.
In
Far, but anyway.
in the approach I take, I try to first of all get you to identify what are you feeling and what are you needing, because there are different layers of needs.
Mm.
So the Miss Senior Bikini is all the way down the line.
Okay.
Immediately you come in, you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you are stressed. And
Yeah.
I am not surprised that it is Mr. Cheddar, sour cream, salty chips that you reach to, because that combination is designed for persons who are feeling like stressed.
Mm.
The crunch deceives you, and you feel it's a fresh product, and they engineer it to crunch like nice lettuce leaves.
Ooh.
And it's so subconscious that you're doing it and you don't realize. The
Mm.
second thing is that the salt, the fat,
Mm.
carbs, man, they make your brain fire off
Yes.
in terms of dopamine. You actually feel good.
Yes.
So if what you're needing is to feel good, it works.
Yeah, and there's no argument after.
But what are you really needing? What's your long-term goal? You're going to be stressed tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. So what's my long term? You mean like
Your long-term goal would be compromised.
my long term goal is to get the kids back in school and Corona to go away. How about that?
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you a question. When you
Mm.
are eating it,
Yes.
what do you say to yourself?
When I'm eating it, what do I say to myself?
Yes.
This tastes good. That's
It tastes good. And then, are there any other thoughts?
I think about tomorrow and how, like I have lesson plans and whatever I have to put out tomorrow and
Mhm.
all the Zoom log in and log out for the different classes and the
Okay. So in that case, it's perfect. There's
Mm.
no limiting belief around it. It tastes good. It, in fact, de-stresses you, and you say you move on. Is that the truth?
Yeah, that's the truth. It's just that, but I know it's not the best.
Ah, okay.
I know it. It just
Okay.
is good. But I do know it's not the best.
So there is another loop going on. There is another layer that is not in keeping with your identity as somebody who can make good choices.
True. And here's
Right.
the thing: it's a better choice than having, drinking wine right throughout the day. So, I mean, in ranking on those choices, it is a good choice.
All right. So for the moment, then, can we explore what are the other choices? What could be? So, for example, I went to Haiti, and believe me, there was the most gorgeous guy. I mean, he was everything, eye candy, athletic, everything a woman could want.
Right.
Right? And I said to the resident rep, what do you think? And she said to me, 1 minute of death. That's what you get with him.
Wow.
Right? He was a promiscuous HIV positive.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
So, the moment,
that was a better choice. See?
You see the importance of asking
the moment
questions?
then, there is a thought, there's a belief, there's even a feeling that this could be good. More information, which you know, because you're saying it's not your best choice.
Yes.
More information, you're saying, I think I should think again.
Correct.
I should think again. So what do we do in that case? What are some of the options? You say one thing, even on the outside bravado, you think something else because it challenges your identity at the core as a good, solid mom with good decision-making capacity. Challenges your identity. And then it challenges your goal.
That's right.
Right. So when things begin to challenge you in this way, then some of what Liz is saying is what you do, right? One of the things that I do, in addition to what, the options, is I name it. This is not my cuddle buddy. This is not a healthy snack. This is potato chips. And there's a practice, there's a something based in neuroscience that when you name and name and name, you call the name for a couple of times, you begin to disassociate your emotion from it. You begin to disassociate the feeling that you think you're getting. And so you say, well, is there something else I could do to de-stress that might do the job, get me out of here, out of the present situation? So what about a nice lavender bath? What if, you just had a nice bath? What about if you come in, you say, kids, I need 3 minutes of music. You put on your earphones, you blast, you dance, you cuss, you rename, you blow up the system that calls you to be assistant teacher. You just go on a rampage. Then all that stress is spent. And you can move on to something else. So you use, yes. So you can use techniques, you can set up your environment. Because you know that at the end of every day, you're either going to bathe, sometimes you can drink wine, sometimes, but you have options that you can look to really sort you out on this one. And the other thing too is you deserve better than Mr. Potato Chips. You deserve better. A powerful, achieving woman like you, what do you deserve that? My financial coach, is that what you have dropped to? You deserve? Oh my God, I think you deserve much more.
Yes.
So stress causes you to have moments of undeservedness. And in those moments when you become powerless, you get your pleasure from anywhere. And that's not who you are. That's not who you are. And so it's just to explore what's the deeper truth about who you are, where you're going, what has happened, and how you can cope. So basically, when I do something like this, I start by saying, what are you feeling? What are you needing? Because many persons can't identify why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They can go in and say, I'm feeling this, okay? Name the feeling. Once you begin to name it, you take the power.
Right. Thank you. That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah, it looks like Andy froze. Yeah. Yeah. So Andy,
I'm back. I disappeared.
You were frozen for a little.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So I'm saying that we use neuroscience, that not sophisticated technology, but just say how the brain works, alert you how your brain works. And then another big word we use, we call it sociotechnic, which means that we set up your environment to have you have a different outcome. So we teach you all kind of things, anchoring, how to start with tiny habits, a whole range of stuff. But I think you get the idea that your basic premise is that you're forgetting who you are. And you're out of work, you're disassociated from what you're feeling. So what you're feeling, what you're queen and the powerful woman you are, you deserve more than potato chips.
Wow, 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 wow. Nads, what do you have to say? Oh my God, let me be quiet.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to take time to throw away these bag of
Yes,
chips.
yes, yes, yes. Well, what I was thinking about, honestly, is that, through this conversation, we've touched on literally on the surface of the limiting beliefs. Because really and truthfully, what a coach would do and what they would guide you in is really a deeper dive into what's behind it. I believe I heard Liz mention it, Andy mention it, Denise, Rob as well. There's something behind why you're choosing the trip. It could be a fear, it's that need for companionship. There's usually something else deeper and behind it. And so through the coaching process, it would be asking you those questions that would get you to really dig deep to think, what is it that's really causing this situation that I'm choosing this bag of chips over something else, choosing the bag of chips over a healthier lifestyle. And so I know that this conversation we don't have enough time to necessarily go into the deep dive that we need for the full extent of limiting beliefs, but we were able to at least touch on some areas, and I believe persons who are listening would be able to get some ideas and get an understanding of the journey, the possible journey that they could go on to be able to release themselves from those limiting beliefs and to get the freedom, the joy that they want in their lives. I believe that is really where we're heading, and that's the what we've been doing each week. Is just giving you some nuggets, some information to just give you an idea of what the coaching process is like, to give you an idea of what's possible, and to give you some ideas of what you can think about to do for your own life. And so, Denise, I know you are on the hot seat today. And so I'm going to release you from the hot seat and just remind, you can put back up that flyer to just remind persons about our 21-day challenge to ignite your life, to really give you that fabulous life that you love and deserve. And it's right there for the grabbing. It's all up to you to choose it. Here you have 5 coaches that are ready to work with you, and just continue to follow us on social media as we guide you through this process. And come and work with us, come and chat with us when you're ready to dig a little deeper into what may be holding you back and creating those limiting beliefs in your life. Over to you, Denise Williams.
Okay, so we are wrapping up our confabulation, and we will be next week. We're going to start sharing our link so you can sign up for the 21-day challenge. We will also have every day, each of the coach we will section up the 21 days, and each of the coach will do a live so that you can be motivated and inspired and guided, by, the coaches, because instead of an art journal, maybe, Denise Robb is going to have you do a sculpture in wood. I don't know what her 21 days, her challenge will be in the 21 days, but we'll all take a piece of the 21 days, because as Nad always says, Fabulous Life, we really do a holistic approach to your life, because we all have different needs. So the money coach may need art and, performance growth and, wellness. And, so it's like, we're acknowledging that we're all not perfect. In fact, I say we're all a big onion, and there's just layers that we peel. So I'm going to say bye-bye now. Join us next week. And all the coaches, thank you all for being part of this. Hugs, hugs, kiss, kiss, mwah, mwah, mwah. Good night.
One love.
Take care. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Yay.